My sister, hear me today. A chosen woman is not like the rest. She doesn't fit in, she doesn't blend, and she doesn't walk the easy road. She walks alone, not because she is weak, not because she is forgotten, but because she is set apart. She is set apart for a purpose. Before she was formed, the Almighty had a plan for her life. Not a life of comfort, not a life of pleasing the crowd, but a life of power and purpose. Many are called, but few are chosen. The chosen ones are tested, refined in fire, and stripped of anything that weakens their faith. When others chase approval, she chases truth. When others walk in darkness, she walks in light. And because of this, she stands alone. She cannot sit at every table. A chosen woman cannot sit where others sit. She cannot gossip. She cannot entertain foolishness. She cannot shrink herself to make others comfortable. She is different, and different makes people uncomfortable. Look at the world. Many follow trends, but a chosen woman follows the call. Many run after attention, but a chosen woman runs after purpose. That's why people leave. That's why the circle gets smaller. That's why she walks alone. She walks alone, but she is never alone. Though the path is lonely, the Most High is with her. He is her strength in weakness, her guide in the storm, her fire in the night. The world may turn its back, but heaven stands with her. When people reject her, the Almighty accepts her. She may cry, she may wonder, why me? But the answer is simple. Because she was not created for a common life. She was chosen for something greater. Her reward is coming. The road of the chosen is hard. The nights are long, the trials are many. But the reward is greater than the suffering. What she sows in tears, she will reap in joy. What she loses today, she will gain tenfold in due season. So, to the woman walking alone, stand firm, keep walking, keep pressing. Your steps are ordered, your journey is divine, and your destiny is unstoppable. You are chosen, you are anointed, and you will not fail. A chosen woman is not like the rest. From the moment she took her first breath, there was something different about her. She could never quite blend in, never quite follow the crowd, never quite find comfort in what others seemed to embrace so easily. And that's because she was set apart for something greater. She wasn't created to be ordinary. She wasn't designed to take the easy road, to settle for mediocrity, or to follow the patterns of the world. Her steps were ordered for a divine purpose. And because of that, her journey would never look like everyone else's. The world tries to mold people into sameness, pushing them to fit in, to be accepted, to conform. But a chosen woman feels that pull deep inside her, the undeniable voice that says, "You were made for more." She tries to ignore it at times. She tries to walk the easy path, to do what others do, to silence the calling that burns inside her. But she can't. No matter how much she tries to be like the rest, something in her resists. She wasn't made for the crowd. She was made for the calling, and the calling always comes with a cost. People will misunderstand her. They will question why she doesn't follow along, why she seems distant, why she chooses a road that looks harder, lonelier, and filled with more struggle. But what they don't understand is that she is not led by comfort. She is led by purpose. And purpose doesn't follow shortcuts. Purpose doesn't bow to popularity. Purpose doesn't seek the approval of people. It follows a higher voice, a voice that leads her away from distractions, away from the temporary, and towards something that will outlast her. A chosen woman will face trials that others don't. She will be tested, broken, refined, not because she is forgotten, but because she is being prepared. If she was meant for something average, her path would be easy. But she was meant for something greater, and greatness is forged in the fire. She will experience seasons of loneliness, times when she wonders if the cost is too high, if she is strong enough to keep going. But in those moments, she must remember she was set apart for a reason. She is being molded for something that others won't understand, something they aren't meant to understand. There will be moments of loss. When she chooses purpose, she will have to walk away from certain places, certain people, certain habits that no longer align with where she is going. It will hurt. It will feel like she's leaving behind a part of herself. But what she doesn't always see in the moment is that what she loses now will be replaced with something greater later. There are doors waiting for her that she cannot walk through with unnecessary baggage. The weight of the past, the weight of wrong relationships, the weight of distractions. These things will only slow her down, and so she is set apart. She is not rejected, she is redirected. She is not abandoned, she is being elevated. She is not forgotten, she is being positioned. Every closed door, every lonely night, every difficult season is not a punishment. It is preparation. And when the time comes, when she has been refined, strengthened, and prepared, she will walk into her purpose with a power and confidence that cannot be shaken. Because she didn't take shortcuts, because she didn't conform, because she was willing to walk alone when necessary, and because she understood being set apart is not a burden, it is an honor. A chosen woman moves differently. She cannot sit at every table because not every table was meant for her. She was not called to fit in, to blend into places that weaken her spirit, or to compromise who she is just to belong. She carries something too valuable to be placed in the wrong environment. The favor on her life, the wisdom in her spirit, the power within her, these things cannot be wasted in places that don't honor them. And so she walks away from certain conversations, certain circles, certain spaces where her presence is tolerated, but never truly valued. It's not arrogance, it's not pride, and it's not isolation, it's discernment. She has learned that not every invitation is a blessing. Some tables are traps, some conversations are distractions, and some connections are assignments from the enemy to pull her off course. She understands that just because a door is open doesn't mean she should walk through it. She doesn't force her way into rooms where she isn't meant to be. She doesn't beg for a seat among people who don't respect her. She doesn't shrink herself to make others comfortable. She knows who she is. She knows what she carries. And because of that, she is careful about where she places her time, her energy, and her presence. She has fought too hard to grow, to heal, to become the woman she is today, and she refuses to compromise that just to sit among those who don't see her worth. If she has to eat alone, so be it. If she has to walk away from familiar places, she will. If she has to say no to what looks good but isn't good for her, she will stand firm. A chosen woman does not waste her energy trying to prove herself to people who were never meant to understand her. She does not spend her days explaining herself to those who have already decided to misunderstand her. She has learned that her value does not decrease because some people fail to see it. She is not less because others refuse to recognize her worth. And so she lets them talk. She lets them question her choices. She lets them assume whatever they want. But she does not lower her standards just to be accepted. She cannot sit at a table where gossip is the main course. She cannot sit at a table where dishonor is served with every conversation. She cannot sit where small minds mock big visions. She cannot sit where faith is ridiculed, where truth is compromised, where wisdom is ignored. She cannot sit where her spirit feels restless, where her discernment warns her, where her peace is disrupted. She does not belong in places where she has to pretend to be someone she is not, and so she walks away. Not with bitterness, not with anger, but with confidence. She trusts that what is meant for her will never require her to beg for a seat. She trusts that where she is headed is far greater than what she is leaving behind. She knows that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right places will align with her purpose. And she knows that when the time comes, she won't have to knock on the wrong doors, because the right doors will open for her. She walks with grace. She moves with wisdom. She carries herself with strength because she understands that not every place is for her, not every connection is meant to last, and not every table deserves her presence. And she is at peace with that, because she would rather stand alone in purpose than sit in the wrong company and lose herself. Rejection is never easy. It stings. It makes you question your worth, your purpose, and sometimes even your identity. But what if the very thing that broke you was actually saving you? What if the rejection you cried over was the protection you couldn't see at the time? A chosen woman must understand that when people walk away, when doors close, when opportunities slip through her fingers, it is not a loss, it is a divine redirection. She may not see it in the moment, but rejection is often the very thing that shields her from what could have destroyed her. She wanted that relationship to work. She poured herself into it, gave her love, sacrificed and tried to hold on, but it still ended. And she felt abandoned, betrayed and discarded. What she didn't realize was that she was being pulled out of something that would have drained her, broken her, and distracted her from her destiny. She saw the pain of being left, but heaven saw the future where she would thrive without that weight on her back. She thought she was losing love, but she was actually gaining freedom. She thought she was rejected, but she was really being protected from a counterfeit that would have delayed her purpose. That job she thought was meant for her, the one she prayed for, prepared for, and believed in, it never called her back. The opportunity that seemed perfect slipped right through her hands. She wondered why. She questioned whether she wasn't good enough, whether she had failed somehow. But what she didn't see was the stress that job would have brought, the way it would have drained her joy, the doors it would have kept closed. She was looking at what she lost, but she didn't realize what she was gaining. She didn't see that something better was ahead, something more aligned with who she was called to be. Rejection can feel personal, but it is often divine. A chosen woman does not get to move through life the same way others do. She cannot attach herself to what is not meant for her. When she tries to force what was never designed for her, she will feel resistance. She will face closed doors. She will experience disappointment, not because she is unworthy, but because she is being redirected to something greater. People will walk away, and it will hurt. Some will leave without warning, without explanation, without closure. And she will wonder what she did wrong, why she wasn't enough for them to stay. But what she must understand is that when people remove themselves from her life, it is not a reflection of her value, it is a revelation of their place in her story. Some people were only meant to be in her life for a season, and when that season ends, they must go. She can either mourn their absence or trust that their departure is making room for something better. A chosen woman does not beg to stay where she is not wanted. She does not chase after people who were never meant to go where she is headed. She does not fight to hold on to what is trying to leave. She understands that rejection is not a curse, it is a blessing in disguise. It is protection from unnecessary pain, from wasted time, from battles she was never meant to fight. And so she wipes her tears, lifts her head, and keeps moving forward. She trusts that the path she is on is leading her somewhere beautiful, somewhere purposeful, somewhere she truly belongs. What is meant for her will never reject her. What is aligned with her destiny will never require her to force her way in. She is chosen, she is covered, and she is protected. And rejection will never be the thing that breaks her. It will be the thing that saves her. Loneliness can feel like a heavy weight, like an endless road with no destination in sight. It whispers lies, making a chosen woman believe she has been forgotten, overlooked, and abandoned. But what she must understand is that loneliness is not a punishment, it is preparation. It is a season, not a life sentence. It is a time of refining, a time of deepening, a time of strengthening for what is coming next. There will be moments when she looks around and sees people moving in groups, forming connections, celebrating relationships, and she will wonder why her path looks different. Why does she always feel like she's on the outside? Why do people leave just when she starts to trust? Why does it seem like no one truly understands the depth of who she is? It is because she is set apart. It is because she is being positioned for something greater than she can see right now. The season of loneliness is not meant to destroy her. It is meant to equip her. She must learn that solitude is not emptiness. It is space for growth. When she is alone, she can hear clearly. She can see what distractions have blinded her from. She can break free from the noise of the world and tune into the direction she is meant to follow. There are things that cannot be revealed in the presence of the wrong people. There are lessons that cannot be learned in the comfort of company. There are strengths that can only be developed when she has no choice but to stand on her own. Loneliness is often the place where transformation happens. It is where she discovers what truly matters, where she sheds the parts of herself that no longer serve her, where she is stretched and molded into the woman she is meant to be. If she were always surrounded by people, if she were always distracted by relationships, she might never stop long enough to hear the voice calling her higher. She might never recognize her own power. She might never understand that she is complete on her own, not because she was made to be alone forever, but because she was made to walk in wholeness before she walks in partnership. This season will not last forever. The loneliness she feels today will one day make sense. The relationships she longed for but never worked out, the friendships that faded, the connections that never quite deepened, all of it will be revealed as necessary. Because when the right people come, when the right opportunities arrive, when the moment she has been prepared for finally comes, she will realize that she needed this time. She needed to be set apart. She needed to be stripped of distractions. She needed to be placed in a position where she had nothing to rely on but the strength within her. She may cry in this season. She may question. She may doubt. She may wonder if this feeling will ever pass. But what she must hold on to is this: seasons change. The silence will not last forever. The loneliness will not define her life. The time will come when she looks back and sees that this was not wasted time. It was sacred time. It was the foundation being laid for everything she will walk into. So she does not give up. She does not let loneliness deceive her into thinking she is unworthy, unlovable, or forgotten. She does not mistake this season for a sentence. Instead, she stands in the confidence that this is just a chapter, not the whole story. The right people will come. The right connections will be made, and when they do, she will not be the same woman she was before. She will be stronger, wiser, and fully ready for what is next. A chosen woman does not rely on her own strength, because she knows that on her own, she would have given up a long time ago. The battles she has fought, the storms she has endured, the weight she has carried, none of it could have been handled with human strength alone. She has been through moments where she felt empty, where she felt like she had nothing left to give, where she thought she would break under the pressure, and yet she is still standing. Not because she was the strongest, not because she had all the answers, but because her strength comes from above. There were nights when she cried herself to sleep, wondering how she would make it through. Days when everything seemed to fall apart at once. Seasons where she lost people, opportunities, dreams she thought would come to pass. Moments where the enemy whispered that she was alone, that she was forgotten, that she wasn't enough. And yet, in those moments of weakness, she found something deeper than herself. A power that held her up when she couldn't stand. A peace that carried her through when she couldn't see the way forward. A strength that was not her own but was placed inside her to endure what was meant to break her. People looked at her and wondered how she kept going, how she still smiled, how she still had hope, how she still found the courage to rise after every setback. What they didn't see was the unseen hand that lifted her every time she fell. They didn't see the quiet moments when she surrendered her fears, her doubts, her exhaustion, and exchanged them for a strength that never runs out. They didn't see the battles she won on her knees, the prayers that covered her when she didn't even have the words to say. They didn't see that she was never fighting alone. A chosen woman does not depend on the world to empower her. The world's strength is temporary. It fades when things get hard. It crumbles under pressure. It is rooted in things that do not last. But the strength that comes from above is unshakable. It does not waver when circumstances change. It does not weaken when opposition rises. It does not disappear when she feels at her lowest. It remains steady and constant, carrying her through every season. She does not fear the storms ahead because she knows where her help comes from. She does not fall apart when people walk away because she knows who sustains her. She does not crumble when life gets overwhelming because she is connected to a power that cannot be exhausted. She knows that when her own strength runs out, there is more available to her. She knows that when she reaches her limit, There is a limitless supply waiting for her to draw from. This is why she refuses to quit. This is why she keeps moving, keeps believing, keeps standing even when everything around her tells her to give up. She is not running on her own power. She is walking in a strength that has carried generations before her. She knows that no matter what comes her way, she will not be shaken. She is held, she is empowered, she is strengthened from a source that never fails. And because of that, she will never be defeated. The path of the chosen is not easy. It was never meant to be. A chosen woman is set apart, and because of that, her journey will look different. While others take shortcuts, she is called to endure the process. While others live for comfort, she is called to walk through fire. While others are accepted by the world, she often finds herself walking alone. This path requires sacrifice, discipline, and faith that does not waver when things get hard. It is a road filled with challenges, tests, and seasons of refinement, but it is also a road that leads to a purpose greater than she could ever imagine. She will face rejection. People she thought would always be there will walk away. Some will misunderstand her, mock her, and even try to tear her down. She will wonder why she can't just fit in, why relationships don't last, why it seems like every time she gets close to someone, something shifts. But what she doesn't always see in the moment is that separation is part of elevation. She is not being punished, she is being positioned. Not everyone is meant to go where she is going. Some connections will only weigh her down, some environments will only dim her light, and so she is called to walk away, even when it hurts. She will be tested. There will be days when she questions if she has the strength to keep going, moments when she is exhausted from fighting battles no one else sees, times when she cries out, wondering why the struggle never seems to end. She will face obstacles that seem impossible, challenges that make her question if she is truly chosen at all. But what she must remember is that the greater the calling, the greater the refining. Gold is tested in fire, diamonds are formed under pressure, warriors are trained through battle, and she is being molded into something unbreakable. She will have to wait. This path is not for those who want quick results. It is not for those who demand instant success, instant rewards, instant fulfillment. A chosen woman must learn patience. She must trust that even when she cannot see progress, something is happening beneath the surface. She will see others rise faster, receive blessings sooner, walk into opportunities that seem effortless, and she will wonder, when is it my turn? But she must hold on to faith, knowing that what is meant for her will come in its appointed time. Delays are not denials. Waiting is not wasting. She is being prepared for something far greater than she can currently see. She will feel lonely. Walking a path that few understand means there will be seasons where she feels isolated. There will be days when she wishes she had someone to lean on, someone who truly understands the weight she carries. She will watch others walk in groups, forming friendships, finding companionship, and she will wonder why her path feels so different. But what she must understand is that solitude is sometimes necessary for transformation. In the quiet, she will find clarity. In the stillness, she will hear the voice that guides her. And when the right people come into her life, she will recognize them, not as distractions, but as divine connections meant to walk beside her in the next season. The path of the chosen is not easy, but it is worth it. Every struggle, every setback, every lonely night, every sacrifice, it is all leading somewhere. She may not see the full picture yet, but she is being shaped for something greater. And when she finally steps into all that she was called to be, she will look back and realize that every hardship was necessary. She was never forgotten. She was never abandoned. She was simply being prepared, and that preparation will make her unstoppable. A chosen woman walks a path that is not easy. She faces battles that others do not see, endures struggles that test the depths of her faith, and carries burdens that would break those who are not built for this journey. There are days when she questions if it's worth it, if all the sacrifices, all the waiting, all the tears will ever lead to something greater. The weight of rejection, the sting of loneliness, the pain of setbacks, it can all feel overwhelming. But what she must remember, what she must hold on to with everything in her is this: her reward will be greater than her suffering. Every battle she has fought has been seen. Every silent tear she has cried has been counted. Every moment she remained faithful, even when it would have been easier to give up, has been noted. Nothing she has endured has been wasted. She is not suffering in vain. She is not walking through fire for no reason. She is being prepared, refined, strengthened, and positioned for a reward that far outweighs the pain she has endured. The suffering is temporary, but the reward will be eternal. She may not see it now. In the middle of the struggle, it is hard to imagine what is coming. It is hard to believe that there is something on the other side of the pain. But, just like a seed planted in the ground, growth is happening even when it is unseen. The delays, the disappointments, the heartbreaks, these are not signs of defeat. They are part of the process. The greater the suffering, the greater the preparation. The greater the preparation, the greater the promise. She is being tested, not because she is forgotten, but because she is chosen. She has faced opposition, not because she is weak, but because she carries something powerful inside her. If she were meant for an average life, the journey would be easy. But she was never called to be ordinary. She was called to rise, to lead, to impact, to walk in a purpose that is far beyond anything she could imagine. And a great calling always comes with great trials. There were moments when she wanted to quit, when she felt like she had nothing left to give, when she questioned why her road had to be so difficult. But what she did not see in those moments was that every hardship was shaping her. Every challenge was building something in her that comfort never could. Every loss was making room for something greater. What was taken from her will be replaced with something better. What was broken will be restored in ways she never expected. What was delayed will come back multiplied. The pain she endured will not go unanswered. The suffering she faced will not be forgotten. She will reap what she has sown, and the harvest will be abundant. She has poured out in faith, and she will receive in overflow. She has been faithful in the fire, and she will be honored in the promise. She has endured the crushing, and she will walk in the blessing. The struggle was real, but so is the reward. The pain was deep, but the joy that is coming will be even greater. She did not endure all of this just to be left empty. She did not fight through the dark just to be abandoned. She did not sacrifice, wait, believe, and keep going just to end up with nothing. No, she was being prepared for something greater than she ever imagined. The suffering was only the beginning. The best is still ahead. And when she steps into it, she will know it was worth every tear, every sacrifice, and every battle she had to fight. There will be moments when she feels exhausted, when the weight of her journey presses so heavily on her shoulders that she wonders if she can take another step. She will face seasons where everything in her tells her to stop, to turn back, to settle for something less difficult, less painful, less demanding. The path of the chosen is not easy. It is filled with trials, delays, rejection, and moments of deep loneliness. But no matter how hard it gets, no matter how much she wants to give up, she must keep walking. She has come too far to stop now. She has fought too many battles, endured too much refining, sacrificed too much to turn back. Every step she has taken, even the painful ones, has been leading her somewhere. The struggles were not for nothing. The heartbreak was not in vain. The closed doors, the losses, the silent seasons where she felt unseen, all of it was preparing her for something greater. If she stops now, she will never see the reward waiting for her just ahead. If she gives up, she will never know what was on the other side of her endurance. She must keep walking, even when the road is lonely. There will be times when she looks around and sees no one beside her. She will wonder why others seem to have companionship while she is left to navigate the journey alone. She will question why certain people walked away, why connections faded, why the ones she trusted could not stay. But she must understand that not everyone can go where she is going. Some were only meant to walk with her for a season. Some were distractions. Some would have held her back from the very thing she was called to do. She is not alone. She is being set apart. And if she keeps walking, the right people will find her at the right time. She must keep walking even when nothing makes sense. There will be moments when she does not understand why certain doors remain closed, why opportunities slip through her fingers, why the vision in her heart seems so far from becoming reality. It will feel unfair. It will be frustrating. She will be tempted to believe that maybe she was wrong to dream, wrong to hope, wrong to believe she was meant for more. But she must remember that delays are not denials. Just because she cannot see the way does not mean there is no way. Just because nothing seems to be happening does not mean that nothing is happening. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come right after the moment she almost gave up. She must keep walking, even when the journey is filled with opposition. The enemy will try to discourage her. Fear will try to paralyze her. Doubt will whisper that she is not strong enough, not worthy enough, not capable enough to fulfill what she was called to do. She will face resistance because anything worth having will not come easily. But she is not weak. She is not defeated. She has already overcome more than she realizes. And every battle she faces now is only proof that she is on the right path. The enemy does not attack what is not a threat. The very fact that she faces opposition is confirmation that she carries something powerful inside her. She must keep walking even when she is tired. She may slow down, she may have moments when she needs to catch her breath, but she must not stop. She must not quit, because there is something waiting for her that she cannot yet see. There is a purpose she has not yet stepped into. There is a reward that will make every struggle, every tear, every sleepless night worth it. The best is still ahead, and the only way to reach it is to keep walking.